The Lord of the Rings is a film series of 3 epic fantasy adventure films directed by Peter Jackson, based on the novel written by J.R.R. Tolkien. The films are subtitled The Fellowship of the Ring in 2001, The Two Towers 2002, and The Return of the King in 2003. Produced and distributed by New Line Cinema with the co-production of Wingnut Films. It is an international venture between New Zealand and the United States. Set in the fictional world of Middle-earth, the films follow the hobbit Frodo Baggins as he and the Fellowship embark on a quest to destroy the One Ring, to ensure the destruction of its maker, the Dark Lord Sauron. The Fellowship eventually splits up and Frodo continues the quest with his loyal companion, Sam and the Treacherous Gollum. Meanwhile, Aragorn, heir in exile to the throne of Gondor, along with Leoz, Gimli, Boromir, Merry, Pippin, and the wizard Gandalf, unite to rally the free peoples of Middle-earth in the War of the Ring in order to aid Frodo by distracting Sauron's attention. All 3 films premiered to widespread critical acclaim. The Toronto Film Critics Association awarded Jackson a special citation for his work on the series as a whole, while the Austin Film Critics Association selected the entire series as the decade's 3rd best film. The films won 17 out of 30 Academy Award nominations, and The Return of the King holds the record for most Oscars with 11 alongside Titanic and Ben-Hur. The Return of the King also has the distinction of being the only fantasy film until The Shape of Water in 2017 to have won the Academy Award for Best Picture. Now, let's look at some words and phrases from the film.
He spends hours and hours poring over old maps when he thinks I'm not looking. He spends hours and hours poring over old maps when he thinks I'm not looking.
To pore over is a phrasal verb meaning to look at something in a focused and a thorough way. For example, I pored over the data, but I still can't seem to find a solution.
He's up to something. He's up to something.
If someone's up to something, that means they're doing something secretly. For example, I think that the kids are up to something. Maybe they're planning me a surprise birthday party.
Before you came along, we Bagginses were very well thought of.
Indeed.
Come along is a phrasal verb that means to arrive or to become available. For example, he told me to work hard and take every opportunity that comes along. Also, it means to go somewhere with someone. In other words, to accompany them. In this case, Frodo is saying that his family name was well thought of before Gandalf came along. If a person is well thought of, it means people have good thoughts about him or her. For example, he was efficient at his job and well thought of by everyone.
We Bagginses were very well thought of. We Bagginses were very well thought of.
Frodo and Bilbo's last name was Baggins. However, here you probably heard them say Bagginses. That's because it's plural. Usually, plurals of names or last names follow the same rule as any other noun. If your last name were Smith and you wanted to refer to your whole family, you'd say the Smithes.
If you're referring to the incident with the dragon, I was barely involved.
Barely is the opposite of a lot of or very much. Compare these 2 examples. He barely has any money. He has a lot of money. Then, if you're involved in an activity, it means you're taking part in that activity.
All I did was give your uncle a little nudge out of the door. All I did was give your uncle a little nudge out of the door.
In this incident, Gandalf says he gave Bilbo a little nudge out the door. If you nudge someone or give someone a nudge, you push them gently, especially if you touch someone with your elbow in order to get their attention.
Whatever you did, you've been officially labeled a disturber of the peace.
To label someone as something is to use a word or phrase to describe someone or something. He was labeled as disturber of the peace, meaning he did things that disturb peace in the Shire. In this case, To disturb means to change a normal situation in a way that causes problems. Okay guys, that was it. You can download The Lord of the Rings from the زبان شناس app and watch it. See you next time.
I come back to you now, at the turn of the tide.